What you think, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, that complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
No, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are like absolutely. But if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
You see, what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes the black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, I mean, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. That's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, so there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband and stuff like that.
What's happening? What it do? What it is? Another day, another blessed one to be amongst the living. Old man said, well, I asked him how he was doing. He said, well, I'm vertical. So I guess, so he's doing good because he was vertical. But I was thinking that you could be in a damn, like they was with the mummy standing up, you know what I'm saying? So, but anywho, with all that being said, welcome to another episode of the Speak On It podcast, 2K24 Summer Edition. And I have my beautiful co-host Chanel in the building doing her thing, you know what I'm saying? And we were just sitting around collaborating and doing our thing, and this topic came to mind because I was wondering, did people still do the long distance dating? And just so happened, she's been in one. Chanel has been in a long distance relationship for quite a while. And so I think too many things I did in my past with relationships, period, got me where I couldn't do a long distance relationship. But as you mature, you can kind of see it being doable, but I don't think I would prefer it being, a first thing of mine. It wouldn't be a choice of mine. If I just happen to get in it, and maybe, but my past too messed up to do a long distance relationship. My mental wouldn't allow me to do it.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
I've been in. If I think about, because I was always out of town some damn where and stuff like that. So I think a lot of my relationships have been long distance, and my friendships and my best friendships and all that kind of stuff too, and all that. And you already know I'm in a long distance now. It wasn't planned like that. It just happened like that, and stuff like that. So
okay. So when you say it wasn't planned, so you met him where you live at first.
Right, exactly.
Okay. How long did y'all date before he left?
He coming too. That's he just called. Before I left there, I think 9 months.
Oh, okay. We always talk and we always tell you, well, you kind of different, Okay, but it's
so
still
I think that's beneficial too, because we did have that. It didn't start out like that, so we had that time, to really get to know each other, be in the space together, and all that kind of stuff. It was so we did have some time in before, and then when I moved, he kept calling. I didn't expect it to be continuous or nothing like that. I was expecting, well, that's a wrap on that. We was also not an official couple when I left either. Because we were seeing each other and all that kind of stuff, but it was nothing particularly official. So
right.
When I moved, he kept calling and being a great friend and all that kind of stuff, and then it kind of morphed into that after that. Don't make it less hard though. Don't make it any less hard. And I think I think different situations matter. Like everybody's situation is different. And even as I was doing the research and looking for, clips and stuff for the night and all that, there are people that are like, that shit ain't gonna work. And then the other people that are like, oh yeah, I think it worked. Everybody's got their form of advice and all that kind of stuff or whatever.
Right.
But it's literally what it depends upon. Literally is you and your mate and where you're at. I'm not sure if I'm trying to think of. I don't think I've ever met anybody at a distance and then decided.
You see, that's what I thought was going on with your situation. I thought you were just social media trying to date doing this online dating thing, and you met him and he states away, and
yeah.
then y'all try to make it work.
I don't know if I could have been able to do that part like that. I don't know. And I guess it does depend on like, the vibe and all that stuff. But like, there is something to be said about being in person with somebody and, being physically present does, so I don't know. And if anybody out there has done that, hop in. Because seeing it from a perspective of like, seeing it from a perspective of meeting somebody long distance, I would say that it would depend on how long. And that's what I started seeing in some of the advice. Like, okay, well, if you meet online, you need to plan as soon as possible or as often as possible to see each other in person, right? To be able to spend that time, get the vibe, all that kind of stuff or whatever, right? So, Well,
I tried it. I tried it once. Well, actually, I tried it twice. Okay, we have a special guest. We got BBQ in the building. What's happening, BBQ?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Great. And yourself?
I'm doing wonderful.
Great. That's a good thing. And we are here discussing online dating. I mean, not online dating, long distance dating.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard I'm getting paid for this special appearance. That's what I heard. Is that true?
Okay. Well, she didn't tell me that she need to pay me then too. Then if that's how you dropping it off, Jeanette.
Hey,
but welcome to the Speak On It 2K24 podcast. And
how you doing?
From your intro, I take it you're this mystery fella that she's been talking about for over a year.
That's Boo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Boo. That's all we know, Boo. And it came and Boo, you came out the blue because she was like, relationships ain't this, that, and that, relationships. And then about 2 months after that, she was like, well, Boo. We say, oh, hey, hold on. Who was Boo? Yeah, but if you go back and look at some of the older
ones, like anti-relationship. I was just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually been on the show before in the sense of listening and watching, and I make comments here and there at various points in time. So I'm pretty much familiar. Yep.
Cool. Good. That's what's up. And I'm feeling a good spirit from you, man. I'm feeling a good vibe. You cool people. I can feel it, Of
course.
And very few guests come on here that I actually feel their vibe when they just come on here. Very few.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you feel like it's gonna be cool. And I want to hear more from you on the outside when we have topics where it's kind of like men trying to hash things out, with our insecurities, with our mental. I think you'll be good every now and then for a few minutes to come on and share your thoughts.
You're good at that stuff. We talk about that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I am a therapist. You know I'm not a therapist.
He's a therapist.
That's what's up.
He can be my therapist.
I can see y'all working. He got a good personality. He like to have fun. So that's what it's about. But a lot of guys, and I know that I grew up with, when they reach the age 35, they feel like they have to be serious 24/7. I'm gonna joke, I'm gonna clown, I'm gonna have fun. That's what I do. Absolutely. And seem like you're the same way.
We gotta be.
Okay, we got another one. What it do, people?
What up,
What's happening? What's happening, Los?
All right, so I was telling Black that we met in person, right? And we were seeing each other for a minute before I moved, before it was long distance. Because he thought that it was started out long distance, but it didn't.
Yeah.
How much do you think that make a difference?
For me?
Yeah.
It make no difference, make a big to me, to be honest with you. Long distance, nearby, that sort of thing, because what it all comes down to is matter of communication more so than anything else. If you're able to talk in person, you'll be able to talk long distance, and you're required to talk more long distance too. So you're required to be more communicative. And when I say it that way is because you can be sitting next to the person, not have 2 words to say to them, and not communicating. Y'all live right next to each other, but you got to have that willingness to be open and vulnerable to have hard discussions, which she and I've had about her kids, my own kids, relationship in general, and stuff like that. So that's the real key. No matter what, no matter how far apart you are.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have that mentality, like, oh well, if they far away, they could be cheating on you, but somebody could be cheating on you laying in the bed next to you. It's not about the distance.
And I think that's the issue, because they can't trust the person laying next to them. How can they trust?
Exactly. So that's a them issue. That's not a partner issue.
Right.
That's a you issue. If you can't trust who's laying next to you or who's long distance.
Listening to BBQ, it's a maturity thing also, which I took forever to mature. And you guys work because you know what you want, he know what he want,
and we talk about it.
Yeah, and you guys are grown, and but when I tried, and I'm a person that's visual. My mental messed me up, man. I'm a mental person, and I tried the long distance dating in college. When I first went to college, we used to go.
That ain't gonna work, bro. That ain't gonna work. College don't work. I'm just telling you now, because I'm gonna tell you right now. When I went to a fine university that's located on the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee, Florida. Just saying that right there. This one girl was from Chicago, and she's like, I want to be faithful to my boyfriend. I said, you know how many states away that Negro is? You gonna be what? Right. I'm gonna tell you right now. He in Chicago. He ain't being faithful. And I'm praise God on this one, because he gave us something, and I'm glad I ain't kicking with her, because I ain't get it. There you go. Amen.
And you know what? I used to preach that too, but it was after my parents used to take me to the Bayou Classic a lot. And when you go down there, I met somebody at the Bayou Classic, and hung out, great night, you know what I'm saying? Boom. And then after those 2 days of kicking it, now you gotta leave. And then you think, okay, this is my girlfriend, and so you doing the communication thing, and you actually driving.
Hey dog, you know what you had? You had that weekend girl.
And look, I was getting in my vehicle. My folks had just bought me a vehicle. And I was trying to make, like he said, every weekend I'm trying to drive down there to Baton Rouge. And that was like almost 4 hours from where I stayed. It was cool at first, the first maybe 4 trips. Then it turned into she busy. And then when I get there, sitting in the house, we ain't doing nothing. Then I'm looking at the clock because I got to be back at a certain time. And, that kind of ran its course. And I was like, I ain't gonna be wasting no gas time going down here, So that ended. And then when I first went to college, I think I was dating this girl named Michelle, and her sister went to college with me. Michelle was like 2 years under me, and her sister was like, you don't need to talk to him, don't talk to him, because she knew my reputation from school. And we were good at first. I'm saying for maybe the first semester to the middle of the second semester, we were great. Because when she would come to visit her sister, she and I would kick it.
Okay.
But then the sister started cock blocking, and then with me, I was hanging with the alphas, the AKAs, and I was DJing, and I met a lot more women who, and she was from the hometown. So when I started meeting, like you say, the Chicago,
people outside your regular
space. The Slidell, Louisianas, and all them, I was like, and her sister don't want me talking to you no way. So when you come up here, she keeping you in her room. You can't come to my room. So why are we even talking? And so I never did say that. But one day she decided to pop up, and I didn't know. And I had another friend girl that I had met in the room, and it got, So I was just like, long distance relationships, just not for me. And I think at that time, I gave up on long distance relationships. After 2 failures, I'm like, this just not for me.
But I also remembering though,
But
considering
you-
your age and stage in life though, right? Because
Yeah.
you know, when you're young, like the
Yeah.
world is a oyster, right? The older you get, you're more settled down. You're like your values and belief systems start changing and all that kind of stuff. So like,
But with me not maturing as fast as you guys, because I'm a DJ, I'm in the clubs, I'm a promoter, I see what I see. And I wasn't on the maturity level like you guys and like the Austin. I was just like, when I seen Austin, and I'm talking about, I'm just now maybe, and that's since I've been married with who I'm with now, and that's within 10, maybe 15, maybe 12, 13 years, young, being serious about dating.
Mhm.
But until then, I was like, when I hit up Austin and I know he in a serious relationship, hey man, where the hoes at? I'm gonna be down there next weekend. I need a room, blah blah blah. I already got a room at the Marriott, blah blah.
You the
And
friend,
back in the day when I used to do that,
around.
he used to kick it with me back in the day, but he matured, us being apart. He's in Texas, you know what I'm saying? I'm back in Louisiana.
Mhm.
He ended up getting with somebody, and I just didn't understand that because we never took nobody 100% serious. No matter who we dating, when I come around or when he come around, it's like, we ain't got nobody. Hey, I'll be back. I'm gonna go kick with him. Boom. He started shutting it down. He was the Ralph Tresvant of the new edition. He was the one, tonight I want to be with my girlfriend. He was that type of dude. He was him. But we were the ones who shit. We finna go shoot ball. We finna go hang out. We finna get pizza. We finna, he didn't do that. But when he went to college and then he graduated and moved to Dallas, we kicked it. The first few times he went out there, it was turned up. We were lit. But then he started saying, "Hey man, I ain't gonna be able to come out." I'm like, "You ain't gonna be able to come out? What you mean? Tell her you'll be right back. We gonna kick it 2 hours, then you go back home." He was like, "Nah, man, and I'm like, I done drove all the way 4 some hours, and you not coming out?
Nope.
Okay, well, where the hoes at? I got the hotel, blah, blah, blah. Man, I don't know that. I don't do that no more." I'm like, dude. So he kept telling me, and we talked about this last week. He kept saying, "Man, you need to get out of that. You need to mature." But man, for what? Because you can't trust them. All of them good until you catch them. So why are you even, going through that? And that was my mentality. So I was really, 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 really messed up. Plus, at the age of maybe 19, I was hanging with some older cats because I took a summer job working for the city. And so I met a whole bunch of old dudes, like 60 some years old at 19 and 20 years old, telling me, man, all kind of horror stories about how easy your woman can be. He was like, "Man, your woman can go to the grocery store to go pick up some fruit, man. She can be over by the fruit stand, raise her skirt up, and the man can get him some right there." And so I'm like, paranoid, 19 years old, like, yeah, and they kept talking to me like that. "Man, that woman, yeah, you think you got her, but until you marry her, she a much right woman. That means she can mess with anybody she want to mess with because you ain't put no ring on it." And I'm like, so I got messed up mentally. So when I stepped out at 21 plus trying to date, I ain't trust shit.
Yeah. You already had a
Nothing.
mentality going on, yeah.
I'm paranoid. She pick up the phone and go in the back room. I'm like, hey, who you talking to? I was fucking paranoid. So that's why I know
you couldn't do no long distance.
long distance relationships was not for me.
You can't go pee.
And then social media came out. And even Keith Sweat was saying when he was on the Breakfast Club how he feels sorry for his sons because before social media, we were able to, before social media and the phones with the cameras and shit, we was able to sneak around and do the shit, come on back home, wash up and come on back home. Shit, they FaceTime you now. They got you goddamn send your location.
Location.
You know, so you on the other side of town, and then your girl hit your, hey, where you at? Hey, I'm on Marvin. Oh, I tell you what, send me your location. And you like, I'm just trying to speed to get to the other side of town. It ain't worth it. So the long distance thing, man, it's just tough. And with social media out there, because I got a brother and a couple more friends that's able to, no matter where we was, like I got married in Biloxi, Mississippi. These guys were in Biloxi, Mississippi with some app or whatever they have, some little site, actually hooking up with women that they never knew. They like, hey man, I'm gonna go. I'm like, y'all don't even know these people, you know. So it's a tough thing to do. The same remote. Okay, it's a tough thing to do, Chanel. Right. You guys are mature.
You gotta be mature.
You met each other first.
Be a certain mindset.
Yeah, you met each other first. But let me ask you this, BBQ and Chanel. From what I take, from what I know, she's an honest person, and she's a therapist, so she understands human. What do you do on, let's just say it's a night where the night before she talked nice to you and you want to come see her and something come up where you can't see her, okay? What do you do in those times when you're at a male vulnerable state where you need her to be there and she's not there? How do you handle that? Do you just go to sleep? Do you just find other things to occupy your mind?
You said a vulnerable state, like what type of vulnerable state?
Do that.
Can you hear me? Hello?
He said what kind of vulnerable state you talking about?
Where you hadn't seen her in about a month and a half, and your needs.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a reality.
You in that moment where you want her to touch. You need her touch.
More than, like you talking like months, like we talking like years.
No, we've been apart at various points in time for about a year, if not more. So, yeah. But the thing about it is, it's about who you are as a person, man. I mean, am I allowed to curse out here or not?
Curse if you don't need to curse, that's fine.
Here, pussy don't drive my life.
Yeah.
So it doesn't drive my life. I said pussy doesn't drive my life because there's a lot of pussy around you that you can get and that sort of thing, but that's not me.
Right.
It's not me. I got other things I can put my time. And then, man, if you ain't even know about the joys of phone sex, bro, you better learn. I'm just saying. God damn, you don't understand, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you right. Let me tell you some truths real quick. A few times I called or chiming in, I was sex texting my girl while she on the call with y'all, and then I was also commenting like, "Can this dude shut up so I can get you off?" Hello.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I ain't even put the business out there. My bad.
No, we good.
That mindset and
it's being creative.
So right? Mindset and yeah,
you gotta, and also you gotta remember, man, a lot of sex is actually in the mind more so than the physical form. And you know, if you get that mind going, and they've already had the real good experience with you, and you can write the erotic stories. Like I can see your erotic. In fact, I can see your erotic story. You give your woman a night, and you be fucking for the rest of the year.
I used to do. I do that too. One man, I was dating one girl, and he had gotten a doghouse with his wife, and he ended up sneaking reading one of the letters I wrote. That man had me to write his wife a letter.
Absolutely.
For him, and paid me for it. So yeah, he's like, man, you a cold brother. And that was his daughter who he read that I wrote the letter to, and he had me to write his wife one. But yeah, I feel you. So it's more of and see, you guys have a good connection. And so, like I say, looking at it from a matured lens, I can see it. But meeting somebody today I think it'll be kind of tough because it's so much out there. What year did y'all meet? Y'all met like last year?
No, what I met him. What it was 20. It was before COVID because I was living up there before COVID. 2015, 16, no, 16. I think 2016. I think it's around 2016, 2015, 2016. Right?
Yeah, 2017.
2017?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the year I got married. Okay. Man, okay. Okay, now another question, because they said this on some of the research I was doing. Do you guys ever plan on living together, like moving in with each other? And who would leave the state? Who would leave what state? And
That's a good question because one, I still have a okay. Yeah, I got DoorDash in my ear, so multitasking. It would probably have to be me or find a mutual spot or something like that because she can't deal with Minnesota and the gloominess of it. And
oh,
the
you're in
coldness of
Minnesota.
it.
We thinking about coming to Minnesota. We want to go to that mall y'all got. The wife been trying to get me to come to this mall.
Oh yeah.
In Minnesota.
Oh, you should because all clothes here are tax free.
Yeah.
So we think about doing that, and then I'm a Prince fanatic. So I want to go to his museum. That was my idol growing up. So
yeah, Paisley Park. Yep, nice spot to go to.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not completely opposed to trying Minnesota again because when I realized also through my healing process and all that, because when I left there, I was left because I was super depressed, right? And but the depression was the culmination of all these things I've been holding on to all these years, right? And so during my healing process, and even the last time I went to visit with him and all that, it felt different. Like it didn't feel as gloomy and all that. Now, granted, it
was summertime. It was summertime.
That was the summertime when I went, right?
That's different than winter.
You know, if I went there in the summer, it'd be great and all that. But like the cold and the gloominess and the cloudiness of the cold, the winter time, it affects my mood. It affects my the
You're
depression.
a sun person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because even here, if it's cloudy for too long, too many days, I can feel it. So I need the sun. Yep. So we had to figure that part out.
Yeah. Now my brother was in a relationship with a woman, and he ended up going to prison or whatever. And she lived like 30 minutes away from the prison that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually broke up with her because he didn't want to live near that prison.
Oh.
And they were together forever, had a child and all that. And he was like, if she can't leave and go somewhere else besides, and she's occupational therapist or whatever, the one that, she's a therapist that nurse people back to health, the strokes and all that. And so she was like, I can't leave my job just because you don't want to be near this prison.
Mm-hmm.
And so he tried to tough it out for about a year, and then he just packed his stuff and left.
Yeah. And that should have been a mutual discussion where both of them could have compromised, right? You know, I would never let my location. I'm not married to Texas. You know, I'm not married to any space and place. If I want to be with the person I want to be with, and like I said, I would even try Minnesota again, right? And stuff like that. But you know, if it looked like finding a mutual space that we both want to move to and to be together and stuff like that, I will be willing to do that. This is just a place I can get licensed in any space. I can, you know what I'm saying? Like you can take your job, but if your skill is good and you love what you do, whatever, and you know, like you can find a job. You do what you need to do and all that kind of stuff. So I just feel like you know, those are excuses.
Yeah,
for me,
and it was
that should not be a deal breaker.
She's a physical therapist. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, and she was like, she got all, you know, she worked for some big hospital type clinic there where some of the ball players and stuff come, and she's making good money. And she was like, they can try the long distance thing because he didn't want to be there. He's in Florida now. They tried the long distance thing, and they eventually just, you know, drifted because it costed too much money for him to come there. And he's a massage therapist in Florida. And then he's losing money when he's down there, and she was losing money when she was up here. So they was like,
that was even a great business deal they passed. Like, I would combine them things, do that. Like, they could have been in business together and been doing stuff.
he didn't want to be near that nightmare prison that they.
And it's understandable.
And like I say, Chanel, and I tell you a lot on here. Back in the day, with me being immature, I'm like, nigga, with the money she making, you making yours, and you just worried about a prison that you ain't going back to. You can go the opposite way, but it wasn't that simple. It wasn't that simple.
It was deeper than that. It was deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded
him. And he kept saying, "You don't understand, bro." And I'm like, "Dude," because she was making
to being in prison. You know, he didn't want to be in that area, so like he couldn't handle that.
But yeah, you know, and like I say, probably after this, he tried to call me the other day and I didn't answer. But probably after this, I have a different light because I was like, man, every blue moon, I said, man, the stupidest thing you did was to leave her and go down there, go to Florida.
Not if it's gonna traumatize him every time you look out the door and it's that close. You know?
Yeah, but I just figured with you being in prison, with him being in prison, I figured he can withstand anything. You got 4 walls for steel bars. Tough it out, but it wasn't that easy for him, I guess.
You want to mentally re-experience the thing, because that's not a brain work. You know, this is a familiar area, space, and all that stuff. It's still just going to remind me of what I went through when I was dealing with that stuff. So move it, get out of the space. You know, that was good for his health. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the biggest complaint that I hear about long distance relationships, depending on who's going to eventually move with who. But you guys in a different type situation because you met each other before, and it's kind of like a husband that has to relocate for a job, like and the wife has to hold the fort down where she's at, and everybody understand the assignment. That seems like the relationship you guys got compared to like we have talked about the Passport Bros 2 episodes ago, that goes off and meet these women in Cuba and all that stuff, and then Jamaica and come back to the States without her, and then they're trying to plan trips for each other to come to meet each other. That there would be kind of hard, I think, those type of long distance relationships. So like you say, it depends on what type of long distance relationship you're in.
But I'll tell you like this, there's some people who are down and happy with it too. Like example, Connie Chung and her husband Maury Povich. I remember Connie Chung was the head of pretty much a head newscaster on NBC for years. Then Maury Povich had, Maury had his show, like, you're not the father.
Right.
He had his show, and they worked it out that way. It just depends upon your level of how you want to work things out. You got some people who are more needy than other people. You got some people not. I'm not a needy person.
Right.
I'm very self-sufficient and everything else like that. I get horny, man. I'll pull out that Astroglide real quick. Water-based. I got pictures on my phone. I got movies and everything else. Get on hey, what you doing today? Oh, you're not busy right now? Oh, your girl sleep? Hey, you got some time to kill.
Right.
That's it. And then whenever you get in person, is what you do in person when you have opportunities to do it. And that's what it comes down to, because one, she still got her kids to deal with. I still got my 2 to deal with. And when you find time, you find time. Like this morning. Just, I know her girls are going through stuff. I'm more like they call me dad part 2. That's what they call me.
Well, actually, they call it their biological father, and then they call it.
Yeah, you know. And so, like I said, I'm a therapist a lot because she's tired of wearing pants in the family. She has to wear the pants in her family. And when she's dealing with me, she knows she ain't got to wear no pants.
Fuck pants.
Right.
Pantsless society.
I got a feeling after this show, you guys are gonna see each other pretty soon. But anyway,
we gonna what?
He said we're gonna see each other pretty soon after this show.
Yeah,
there's so much stuff going on right about now.
Whatever,
but
like
I'm like
he
that now.
provides a thing for me that is worth all of it, right? You know, even though this he's wearing the pants, right, and all that, and I can be vulnerable, and I can be a girl, right, and I don't have to, you know, even if my kids need something or advice or whatever the case may be, or sometimes I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna call him, right, and all that,
right,
and that's something I haven't had before. Right, and somebody else to lean on, or when I don't feel like I'm doing a good job, or whatever it is, I can call and get that reassurance or that advice, or just to listen and all that kind of stuff. Like that matters way more than just being in my presence, right?
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
And I think what it is sometimes, you know, what I think it is for the most part, people get a false sense of greatness or feeling that if I got them right there, it's gonna all be good, and that's not always the case. And it's just like what you mentioned earlier, man. You got dudes cheating on their women left and right, who laying with bed with them every night.
Right. Yeah.
And I tell mine, like when she going through her emotional and vulnerable stages, she don't know that I understand she's human. I know, like BBQ said, I know when she going through some shit, and so. Just because we may have talked freaky 3 hours ago,
right?
And then she'd be like, "Well, I know I need to do this and that." No, you don't. I say you talking like you talking to some 25, 30-year-old. I'm like, we're not 25, 30-year-olds. I'm married now. You get what I'm saying? Right. And when you're married, your responsibility is different. I'm not just sitting around, you know, like when I was dating somebody and I come over there and I'm thinking it's sex night, and she come up with an excuse. My friend girl, dad just died, and she want me to come over there, and I'm looking like, but I came over here to do this. You want to take care of me first, and then go, you know. And then when she leave, I got a problem. You go. But when you're married and you feel that person, or you're mature and you feel that person, it has a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? A different flow. So I'm learning all this like now, you know. But I'm like, it ain't about it's not about sex, because I understand. And then just like BBQ, we didn't had enough experience, I guess we should say, with the sexual thing where it really doesn't matter. Now the guy who came fresh out of a high school or fresh out of college, just now starting.
That's not the stage for that. That's not the stage for that at all.
Yeah,
at all. Yeah.
So
if you got any women listening,
my old friend said to him, yeah, Fred, I'm running around with no pants. Your sister running around with no pants.
I say it like this. I'm gonna say it like this. Anybody got any children going off to college, tell them do not get a girlfriend or boyfriend. Don't do that shit. And I know in society they're always pushing that.
The college experience should be single during the college.
It's too much pussy, too much dick walking around on that campus that you want to fucking try out before you decide you want to settle on one.
Right.
And there's too many other things that you want to try to figure out before you settle on one. And you should be free, but we in a society where we're trying to push be single. You got to be faithful. Man, I tell I said I thought my son was gonna be a damn minister. I'm like, dude,
get out there, do some things.
No, dude, it's okay. Cover up, protect yourself, enjoy yourself. And you know, I really hate the double standard that we place upon women about women be out there who out there fucking every dude in sight. That's their choice. And the thing about it is, You wouldn't know she was fucking everybody in sight. Let's say you met her 5 to 10 years later. You wouldn't know unless somebody told you.
Right.
And
Yeah,
even then,
I mean, and I was talking about that too.
And then why would
really
you hold that?
Know they past.
But why not? The reason why she fucking you so well because she fucked somebody else.
There you go. Like she got her practice in, bro.
Yeah,
Look,
but
she had,
you know, like I've seen a lot of relationships crumble from that. You know,
because you got you know why? Because you have insecure men.
Yeah.
Look here, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I tell Chanel this all the time. I say, look here, I know I may have not been the best dude you've ever fucked or anything like that, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna leave a memorable impression on you that will make you think about trying to fuck somebody else. And we like, damn, should I really do that shit? Because this motherfucker, I ain't never had like this. And the thing about it is, I don't even talk about it. That's the best part. Certain people never experience what good love making is or what good fucking is. They don't know. But a woman got to learn some way, just like we men have to. And I know we're in a society where we think we doing shit because we jumping up and down on some pussy. Nah, that ain't it, dog. That ain't it.
Old man told me that. An old man, I think I might have been 19, 20 years old. And I was talking about how long I go and I can stand up in it and how long I am and how big, whatever. He said, you think you doing something and that woman can have 9, 10 pounds baby coming up out of her and you jumping up and down, back and forth and her, like, he was like, that ain't nothing. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing but wearing yourself out, going an hour. He said, it don't take an hour to make a woman do nothing. And I was like, and then I was bragging, He was like, you went how long? I said, I know it was every bit about an hour, maybe 15 minutes. He said, either you didn't know what you was doing she said, either you didn't know what you was doing or she didn't want it. I was like, damn. So talk about the chop of the ego. But yeah, them old men messed my head up at 19, bro.
But it is true. And the thing about it is I actually sent Chanel something today, and this is an older woman talking about, man, this lady talking about, I ain't got to put that leg behind my head no more. All we got 10 minutes. We can make that shit work. We can figure it out from there. That's all you need. You don't need nothing more than that. Anything else is too much.
Right.
That's what the man said. He said, man, you don't need if you going more than 15 minutes, you don't know what you was doing. I she ain't feeling what you doing. I was like, damn, dude. But growing up, we heard that you're supposed to go an hour.
Right.
You supposed to go an hour and let Megan them tell it and Missy them. She don't want no 2-minute man. So we were trying to make it stretch. You know what I'm saying? Take it out a little bit.
2 minutes. Like, what are you doing with that 2 minutes? That's what I'm saying.
And then I learned that because when that passion is there,
your partner needs,
when that passion is there and you feeling each other, it don't go 15 minutes, and you be like, damn. But if you both being satisfied,
right? And
but we were taught that you're supposed to go an hour, at least 45 minutes. If you less than 45 minutes, you scratching your head like, damn.
Well, that depends upon the person and also what type of what your goals are. When I have sex, I have sexual goals in my head. And my rule is like, look here, I'm gonna make sure you get your 3 before I get my 1. And then even after you get your 3, I'm sure I got 2 more to get out of you.
This is true.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what I used to preach all the time. I sit there, you're gonna get your 2 to 3 before I get my 1. That's a rule. And then the secret to that though, that I learned with even if it's the 2-minute thing, a lot of brothers these days don't foreplay. That foreplay,
and they don't know what foreplay is because people think that foreplay is just right before, right before you're doing the thing or whatever. Just like Boo just said on the show, making comments, texting me, and all that. That's foreplay, right? Like I got all for sure. He's like, you like that foreplay? You ready? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Foreplay
it's all
is the purple emoji thing. And then the wet symbol and
right.
and then but A lot of the younger,
It's
they
sticking
don't
something in
do
bed
that.
early in the day and having them thinking about it all day long, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like Ike Turner said, you got to get up here.
Right.
You got to get up there. But they say it don't work. Peep this out.
Long distance relationships do not work. You're in a completely different state, have no clue what the other person is doing. Yeah, they can text you, yeah, they can call you, yes, they can FaceTime you, but you truly have no idea what that person is doing. And as humans, we have needs. We have physical needs that we need from our partner. So what happens whenever you're separated by hundreds of miles, or even in some cases, an hour or a few hours? That's right, most people will exercise their options and cheat.
And that's kind of what happened with me with the Baton Rouge thing. I was like, I don't feel like driving, but I got this person right here. Why am I driving 4 hours away? And then my motto used to be after that was, anybody outside the city limits, I don't need.
So basically you was looking for convenience.
Right. If you outside the city limits, we don't need the date. You know,
and so when your values change from looking for convenience to looking for the value in that relationship and what that relationship is doing for you and what you can give to the other person, then the situation changes, right? Because there's nothing that's convenient here that's gonna make me be like, I don't want to talk to you no more. That's giving me more than that. That's like, it's not about convenience.
Yep. But like I said, I mean, it's just like saying on where you are in your relationships and things like that mentally. And I've always, like I said, primarily growing up by myself for the most part, I've been able to manage certain things because I'm used to being alone and being by myself. And it's okay. And I know some people can't handle being in their own space by themselves for long periods of time. So, I'm used to it and I'm actually okay with it. It's just because I like my son is not at my house tonight. Oh, man, you have no idea how relieved I am about that shit there. That's one less thing I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about cooking for nobody. I don't have to worry about waking somebody up. I don't have to do all those different things. And all that stuff makes a difference. It's like in her household, she has a big household because she has a big heart, but she's going to have to get used to being by herself again. Because them folks, she put like this, like I said, my son got a couple of choices, and none of them are living with me after next year. None.
You know what, Chanel? He sounds a lot like I do, though. A lot of things he's saying is me, because my girl got the big heart, and she wanted her brother to come here, her sister to come here. I don't do people. Somebody can come outside that's unannounced, and I don't care if they family or whatever. If they knock on the door and they unannounced, I don't go to my door, period. I like being by myself. I'm definitely
learning to appreciate being by myself, right? Because a lot of my stuff, it comes from me being, parentified from 8 years old. It comes from me, being a people pleaser or wanting to help everybody. And my heart is big, but I have learned over these past few years a lot about it, like tighten that thing up, right? Because, I'm giving too much. I'm giving too much of myself and all that.
That's how the wife is. She's giving too much. She's giving too much and not receiving a third of it back, and I'm like,
exactly. And that's the thing. We end up in these work situations, right? Where we're giving too much and now we're stuck holding the bag, right? And so I have to choose better. I have to choose that I don't want to take care of nothing. My baby is 18 now, right? And stuff like that. And my goal right now is to get her self-sufficient, so I don't want to have to take care of all the things, right? And all that. I'm tired of taking care of everybody else. I need to be taken care of, right? Yep. So, right. Yeah, I'm a caregiver.
Yeah, and that's where I got her at now. But it took her not seeing, not getting back what she give out. Yeah. And I was like,
made that choice. Like, I recently had to let go of a friend and all that because I need to be in a relationship where it is reciprocal, where people can at least give close to the level that I'm giving, right? Because I don't want to, because And people don't, I don't think people
Mhm.
intentionally set out to take advantage of those of us who are caregivers. It's just they're attracted to us because they're needy, right? And we are caregivers and all that.
What's your
And so a
sign,
needy
Chanel?
person, it's hard for a needy person to give back. Huh?
What's your sign?
Pisces.
Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, my girl is very, she do too
Nurturing,
much,
giving.
and I'm like, for
Yeah.
what? You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of times, Black, is because you have not received what you needed, and so you tend to give it in hopes that you can get it back, but you don't want anybody else to feel like you felt, right? Because you either been neglected
Wow.
or not getting enough needs met and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
so you start to give. It's that people pleasing syndrome and all that. But somebody on the internet, I don't know who it was, but it was like, what to all you people pleasers out there, who's pleased? Because you still can't please the people, you know. And if
Right.
you give too much, people will take it, and then you just become an enabler, right? And so we have to stop enabling other folks. We are stopping them from learning the things that they need to learn, from going through the things that they need to go through so that they can grow and all that. Life is tough, and we gotta get through it, one way or another. Me creating a space where, because I want to support you, but in the having too big of a heart means I support so much that you're not experiencing anything, you're not growing, right? And so
Right.
I've done it 1,000 times. I've done it 1,000 times, right? I did it with my ex-husband. I realized I enabled him, right? And I took care of him way too much, right? So I didn't get that back. I didn't get that back, and so that ended up in divorce. That was the part that I played. I did too much, right? And so, and for me, a lot of my stuff definitely comes from the fact that I'm just used to taking care of people. I had to take care of my mama, took care of my siblings. I just took that became my role in life, is to take care of people.
And that's what happened with the wife, because the mom was working, never at home. So at like 16, she was like the woman of the house. They had to make sure they took baths, they got the school clothes out, ironed the school clothes. So she became that. And so I guess when she became grown, she still felt like,
that's the role that you
have
play.
to take care of. Then when the mom can't do certain things, hey, can you take them to the doctor? Can you do this? And she was still ripping and running, still being like they're her children. But then when she started having children of her own, I'm like, we got kids. You ain't gonna be doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, and then it wasn't appreciated. You get what I'm saying? But my mom told me when I was complaining about it, Mom said, Lee, keep my comments to myself. She's gonna have to experience that herself. She is not me.
Figure it out.
And like I say, and when they told me that, and this was like a year ago, then going through with the therapist, with you online and hearing you, I had to learn that everybody don't think like me. And you literally was going off one night. You was like, they not you. You was like, everybody don't think like you. You can't, you got to get that over, get over that. They not you, And so I had to really.
By the way, not to interrupt you, but let me just say this. She and I talked about that. Oh, we talked about that. Because, bro, I had some comments. I had some comments about your ass. I'm like, how the hell this nigga gonna turn this shit back on to him? How did that happen? We talking about some real deep rooted good stuff, and it got back to you. And I'm like, why is it on him? And I'm not saying anything bad about it.
How come? But we all different. We all of us are different, and we
are he see how hard you be on me. He see.
he see.
Because
but recognize that too, though. Like that's also why the long distance works, because again, I have been alpha in every situation all the time.
Yeah, okay.
Always taking care of other people, and whether I'm in his presence or whether it is long distance.
Hey, it's like this. Let me explain this to you, dog. I'm like, go make daddy a sandwich.
Okay, I'm gonna make you a sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm glad to hear somebody able, because dude, go back and look at how mean she was when she first got on here. To hear her in her feminine and to actually hear the guy who has her in that feminine place, man, you just don't know what I'm feeling right now, because I didn't think she could ever be in there because she was so masculine when she first came on. And I was like, oh, you know.
Well, the thing about it, she still is that way with everyone, to be honest with you. It's just when I'm in the presence of it, it changes because she feels she's in a safe space to be with me because she knows I'm there. Now, the minute I get off this phone, man, you in trouble, dog.
Dude, I know, and I'm feeling it.
So that's why I said you got to pay me.
I'm like, try to stay on. I know you're doing your thing in the background, even if you just mute yourself and keep working. Keep that that avatar that thing right there, because she's nice tonight. I don't get this BBQ, not me. She take anybody's side. I'm talking about somebody, a damn hobo wino can come on here with nothing and say 2 sips of a cup. Yep, 2 sips in a cup. She gonna agree with anything they say. Anything black say, well, 2 sips in a cup, maybe it's 3 cups. Maybe they need 4 sips. And I'm like, all right, that's what's up. But yeah, stay on here for as long as you can. Stay on here.
No, but I
like that though, because she gets me right. I think she know when to be tough, and but she's been. If you go back and look at the past, when we, especially like the 3rd and 4th episodes when she started coming on, she didn't cut me no slack at all. And then about 2 months in, I say, I don't think she liked me at all. I say, but I be nice. I try to do this, but I don't think she liked me. But months on down the road, I what she says comes back to me, and I be like, okay, this is what she was saying. But had she been a yes person, I'd still be the asshole that I was when she first met me on here. But I know when to turn on. She taught me when to turn on the assholeism and when to just let that shit go. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that. But at first, I was just asshole straight on steroids. And I ran my other I ran the other co-hosts off.
Yeah, you did ran them. You ran them all. I'm glad you. Good job holding yourself accountable, because you did.
We and BBQ, you can pull that one up. We went off back and forth. That nigga hung the phone up. That nigga muted me on my own shit. He was mad as hell.
You have zero. You at that point, you had zero understanding of other people and how they operate, and compassion for other people and how they think and their belief system, all that. Because I used to try to be on your side with trying to explain stuff to him, but you were just so harsh. You know, like you always was calling the man stupid. Like nobody can receive that. You know, you gotta be able to see, like everybody ain't you.
Him and I laugh about it now. But when he got off, I think I went 2 weeks, and that's as long as I ever went without talking to him. We went about 2, maybe 3 weeks. And it was a slowly, hey, check this out. Did you see the link? You know, that type of shit. Did you see the video I sent? You know, it was like that. And then I wouldn't even look at the video sometimes. And I waited about a week or so. And I let me go and look. And then we started back talking, and we cool. He actually did a podcast with me, a hip hop podcast Sunday. We jumped on here and talked about the whole Drake thing. Yeah. We cool. But you saw us in the midst of the breakdown. I mean, you witnessed it. And but yeah, I changed a lot in that little time, because I'm at the stage now where it's not about me. You get what I'm saying? It's about being a better person,
right,
to whomever I'm around now. But growing up, being in like you were saying, being in that alpha role, not giving a damn about nothing and nobody. It's all about me, because that's how my parents raised me, because they put that confidence in me. And so it was like one monkey ain't gonna stop no DJ Black show, you know? So when I get into it, people are like, okay, if you don't want to be here, leave. And that's the same way I treated my women. I keep a revolving door. If you don't like something, you can always leave. And just like you leave, I got 3 and 4 waiting. It don't matter. that I, you know, and that was my attitude, and that was things I used to say, you know what I'm saying? And like I told you, when I met her, the one I'm with, the wife, I put her through so much hell, I wouldn't have stayed with me. And when she stayed, and all she wanted was marriage, after 3 to 5 years of hell, and you're still faithful, you ain't ran off and did this and that and that and that, and you still you crying and you're pleading, and when we still together, and all you want is marriage, I think I can do that because you didn't put up with enough hell. You know what I'm saying? And forced hell and hell that wasn't, you know, that came naturally on top of what I was trying to dish out. You get what I'm saying? Anybody else would have said, you know what, fuck you, nigga, you ain't worth all this shit.
Yeah.
You have a good day. Right. You know, boom.
Right.
But
she hung in there.
She knew, and like you never had what you have in Boo, and like he said, he never really had what he had in, you know, what he has in you. So it was one of those situations, things that I wasn't used to that she was doing. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what made me say, you know, calm down, because my whole attitude was like, and she used to drop me off, you know, she dropped me, and she still do today. She'll drop me off at the store at the door, and I'll go in there and take care of it, then she make a loop, and she come back and pick me up. And so I would, and then when we go out of town, she drives. So every now and then I used to joke and be like, hell, I'm the star, you know, because I'm the DJ or whatever. I'm the star, so you come pick me up and you you know. But it was the things that she did that was different. All the other women out with, we didn't hold hands when we walk in public. It was like, you know, we don't open doors. It ain't no lay your head on the shoulder when you walk in. I ain't do none of that shit. And so she was that type of person. I never had that. And so I was like, this ain't what I normally do. But I had to learn. And it's a couple that I was working with a couple of months ago that's going through a whole lot of shit. You get what I'm saying? They moved from one state. They both came to another state and they trying to survive. They've been in this other state for about 4 to 5 years now. I'm gonna say 5 or 6 years. And he's connected to her. Okay, he's a little older than her. He's connected to her, right? She gets this job, meets new friends, and now she wants to hang out with female friends. She's been with him for 4 years, glued to the hip. So now she even got with other friends and they want to hang out, do different things. Now he's feeling some type of way because he like, it's been us. And now you trying to do this. I'm feeling like you ain't feeling me no more and you want to rump these bitches. You know what I'm saying? And so I tried to tell him, I'm like, it's okay because women needs other women every now and then to hang around. Now, I'm not saying going to no club and going to no clubs and all that shit, but for brunches, getting nails done, maybe a spa day in the daytime, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling that. I'm like, so dude, the problem is, because I was like that when I first moved to Georgia. I was overprotected, okay? I didn't want her going to the gas station after dark without me. I don't want her speaking to nobody that we don't know. You know, I'm like, who was that? You know what I'm saying? You know, who was that? What'd he say? You know what I'm saying? Because she had me on the phone, you know, for safety everywhere she go. And I'm like, okay, what did he say? He was just asking me, you know, was I from here? Saying, what'd you say? You know, I'm like, why are you giving him conversation? So that's how this guy is, you know what I'm saying? But what I snapped out of is, and I got another partner that's going through similar. You can't be overprotective of these women. Like the old men used to tell me at 19 years old, you can't watch a pussycat 24 hours a day. Just like y'all can't watch no dog 24 hours a day. And dog gonna eventually do what he gonna do. Woman gonna do what they gonna do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And once that's
but that also comes. But as my brother used to say, you got to know what type of dog you got.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
you got to know. If you and some of these women out here.
Go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead, B.
No, I'm saying, no, I was gonna say, if you got to know what type of dog you got, and I'm gonna say this about women. Women don't let things marinate enough to see the true man that you're with.
Mm-hmm.
And if they let things marinate long enough, you gonna see what the truth is. And that's the problem. They're so ready to, I want to be married, I want to be attached, I want to do this. They're so ready for that part of life. Why don't you marinate on stuff so you get to really know that person and really know if you can deal with who they are and who they really are.
Right. Because who they are is who they are, and you have to accept somebody. You accept people for all of who they are. That's unconditional.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so, and that's part of what works between BBQ and I, right? Because I accept all of who he is, right? Even the parts that I don't like, I accept those parts that's who he is, right? And and the same for me. Of course, if we're going to encourage each other to grow and all of those things, but that don't mean I don't like you, right? And I don't care about you and all that. I accept all of who you are. I trust all of who you are. Yeah. Oh, that's Fred said he need help dealing with me. He talking to you, boo. That's my brother Fred. And stuff like that. And so because we know who each other are, right? We have a mutual respect, right, for each other and our lives and what's going on and all that good stuff, right? I trust him, period. And that's just a choice because he could do whatever he wants to do, wherever he at, right? I choose to trust him. We have an honest relationship.
But she already know. Jill Scott, if Jill Scott offered me that ass, it's over.
Absolutely. And I second that. You know what I'm saying? I want to know if I can get in where I fit in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying,
exactly.
So Jill could get. I mean, I look like I tease him all the time because I was like, that's why you want to date me because I look like Jill. That's what it is. But I like, everybody got the. Jill is the freebie. I just asked to join. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, Lord.
Man, I think
when she
mine have fun hanging with y'all.
Because Jill
like to have fun.
Jill
like
said,
me, he clown, he joke. I'm talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling this dude.
What did Jill say?
What'd you say, BQ?
What you said, Jill say?
No, when Jill Scott said red toenail. When Jill Scott said red toenail polish on white walls, I'm like, God damn. Okay. All right, Jill.
Why?
When she said that crown roll on that,
when she said crown roll on
right
ice.
back to you, I was like, oh,
that's my shit right there.
You know what?
Crown roll.
You know what, BQ? You bring out the fun side of her. Because I didn't know.
Oh, got a little. He's frozen.
I'm feeling y'all vibe. I didn't know that. I'm seeing sides of her tonight that we haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
And it took you to bring it out. So now I see that she can really turn up because she be so. Go look at her. She just so damn serious, man.
Laugh with y'all.
Every blue moon she'll say a piece of joke and then she shut it down. I'm like, you was just joking a second ago. I'm able to say what I feel that I want to say now because BQ on me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm feeling it.
As a woman, I'm always looking for safety, right? And there's a certain amount of safety with you black, but you're black. And and stuff like that. The other you watched the ones that I did when Fred was on there?
Yeah.
My brother Fred. I'm a little more relaxed because Fred is my brother. That's been my protector, right? And stuff.
Yeah,
like
I watched how you navigate.
More cool and relaxed too, and all that.
Right.
Because he has been the male in my life that has been protective and taking care of me and all that kind of stuff. We didn't live around each other all the time and all that, but when there was presence, right? And stuff like that. That's why he said, he need help dealing with me.
Yeah, y'all got that real brother and sister connection.
And when I'm around Fred and Brian, our other brother and all that. I am a little girl. I'm a little girl.
Okay.
Like I'm just giddy and I'm
So
like,
right.
'cause
So when
those are
you're solo, kind of by yourself, that masculine, that alpha side,
I
kind
gotta
of.
protect myself.
Okay.
I gotta protect
Right.
myself.
So until we actually kind of hang out, meet, and this and that and that,
Mhm.
every blue moon, you just, because you never know who else gonna pop on and what Austin
Right.
gonna say, what I'm gonna say. So you kind of just.
And don't get me wrong, like over this time and all that, because like I said, you see me like soften up a bit and all that stuff and all
Yeah.
that, and that's because a lot of it for you, like when you listen and like you say, stuff come back around for you, and then you're talking about the things and you giving me acknowledgement of how things like you're different. You're different than when we first met, right? And stuff
Yeah.
like that. And so there is more safety around you now, right?
Right.
Because I see that you're open to learn, you're open to listen. There's not so much aggression or whatever. But just remember me first coming on this show, and the first thing y'all was talking about was hoes was this and hoes was that. That's not a safe space for a lady. It's not a safe space. So that's the first thing I shut down, right?
Right,
So I
right.
stop calling women hoes in front of women, right? And stuff like that. And we're gonna get rid of this mindset or whatever, because that is where we sit as women, feeling unsafe in all these situations, right? Just by how y'all talk. Just how by y'all talk. If you're not speaking in a way that makes me feel safe, then I'm a man up. I'm a man up.
And
That means I got to sit in your space and I got to protect myself, right?
And I admire you for that because, and you've seen them. Many come on here and hear that and they take off, they run. You didn't run, especially when you first heard it. I'm talking about you was on here for me. And I'm talking about every week for 2 months before I could even come on. You're like, where you at? Where you at? And I'm like, shit, I got to get my shit together because, but you didn't run.
Everything.
Because my mental, when we met, because my girl would often say, and she still said every blue moon when she hear me say certain things, she said, you talk like a man that's not married. I say, no, I'm just speaking the real. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying?
We don't love them hoes. You're right, Fred. We don't love them hoes.
Hey, and I said that. Remember when
Go ahead.
I said that on the podcast. We grew up with Snoop saying we don't love these hoes. See?
Right.
And that's where my mental also got messed up.
So you got to be careful about what you are depositing, right? And because also my super masculinity come from my mama, because I didn't grow up with a man in my household. And so my mama was super overly strong and had to take care of business all the time and fussing and fighting and all that kind of stuff or whatever. My mama was feeding me stuff like, you don't need no man. You don't need this. You can take care of this. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the thing that's being deposited, And so we got to be able to experience, the person that will take care of us, or a good man, and and you have to recognize it, and then start.
When you guys first met, were you kind of masculine?
I mean, I was my tough self, but now Boo says.
So this is what I'm gonna tell you. This is what I'm gonna tell you.
Go ahead.
You listening? So when we first met, and y'all said being graphic, she knew she wanted to fuck me right then and there when we first met. She knew it.
Only thing I'm gonna tell you right there.
No. You knew, but most women do know that already.
We do know. We know immediately.
You know what? And I'm gonna tell BBQ, because I'm telling you, he arrogant like me, like you thought I was. But I didn't call it arrogance. I was convinced because I do what I do. And my famous line, BQ, that I tell women that be saying, it's too soon. You know what I'm saying? Well, I used to mess their head up. I say, how soon is too soon and how late is soon enough? Because you know right now whether you want to have sex with me or not. You know right now whether you want to have sex with me or not. Now we can put this night off. Anything can happen to you. Anything can happen to me. And we could miss the best sex we ever had in our life, the best connection ever. Or we can just say we're adults and do what we do. But then like he said, they know A woman, no. And majority of the time, women are attracted to men that attracts them sexually. The looks may kind of get them there, but the ones that they really want to give into are the ones that turn them on sexually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
it was Wingstop, dog. It was
a
Wingstop. I ain't gonna lie. It was Wingstop.
Huh? It was what?
It was Wingstop.
It was Wingstop. There's a
It was
vibe.
Wingstop, dog.
You
It was
know,
Wingstop, dog.
and stuff.
But no,
So,
the thing
like,
about it was she knew that, but I was like, nah, I'm good for now. I need to know who I'm dealing with. But we didn't even have those conversations. In fact, we didn't even talk about sex for like the first month.
No, we're right. That's what I'm saying. Like
No,
there
no.
was no sexual conversation. There was just a vibe, right? There was a real cool vibe, you know, and stuff.
Then I made the mistake of inviting her over for lunch one day.
Lunch.
Feeding her salmon.
Damn. For lunch?
But
BBQ be balling. You know how much salmon?
No,
he said
you don't
sandwich or he said salmon?
How to budget his money, which is also a turn on. Where you can budget.
Because she'll tell you, if she fell in love with me, it was because of the chicken.
Wow. And Chanel, like I told her, my first date with mine was her sister giving us burgers from McDonald's. Her sister actually worked at McDonald's. So all these guys who be trying to go to all these expensive Ruth Chris's and shit on the first date, I don't do that because old man taught me, and TK Soul now, whatever you do to get her, you got to keep doing it. So I don't never jump in no relationship going to big fancy restaurants and all that shit. No, sir. We finna budget it, so you finna know. You ain't finna use me.
And I had plenty of lunch at BBQ House. Plenty.
My girl was falling in love with my sandwiches at the house. I would make that honey ham sandwich with the mayo and mustard on both sides of the bread with a sliced tomato on there with a little lettuce. And she was falling in love with them things. That's all I was making. You know what I'm saying? So
it was made with good love and affection.
It was salmon, pink salmon, sockeye salmon, Atlantic
everybody
salmon.
Everybody can't cook salmon.
You are absolutely correct. They can't.
That and lamb are the two hardest things, you know, that anybody just can't say they know how to cook. Lamb and salmon.
That is a very true statement. Very true statement. But
that was the time because he could cook. I was cooking for other people all the time. Like this man didn't get me.
So and that's the other part about it. Like, remember I said earlier, it's just that she got around me and she got to be a woman.
Yeah. Yep.
And most women who are out there single want to just be a woman. And it's hard to find men that will allow them to be that way. It's part of because of their big bad choices in selecting men and not being patient enough to wait on what they want and to interview that person for what they want, because all it is just an interview and it just depends on if you want to get the job or not. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. And so like I said, things just evolved over time for the most part, and she got to be a woman. And so what I would do, I like the grocery shop. So that's why I think at one point in time it got kind of rough on her, and I would bring family packs of chicken over because I got them discounted from somewhere, and she like, this nigga like me.
Yeah. These things all the time say, I know why you feel love. I was like, no, it was the groceries, baby. It was the groceries, right? And then he tricked me because he called me one day from the grocery store and telling me the stuff that was in there. He was like, what's your budget for groceries? And I was like, oh, this is what I need to spend. And then he found out what I like to buy and what I usually buy and this and that or whatever. And then he dropping groceries off in my house. Never asked me for the money or nothing like that. You know, just drop. And then the groceries came on a regular basis, right? Yeah. And some of that because I was depressed and I wasn't getting out and I wasn't doing stuff or whatever, you know. Or he called me one morning and say, "Hey, put your tennis shoes on." All right, cool. This is that account that he tried to kill me.
She hate me for that morning.
Woo!
He walked me morning.
But I needed to get outside, and I needed to walk, and I needed to move my body, and you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. And
that lake is 3.3 around that lake is 3.3 miles, and she hadn't walked that in years. And the funny part, okay, hey, dude, you know the funny part about all that is this. It was actually a good setup in a way to make her walk around the whole lake because we walked halfway, so it's like, well, we can turn around and go back the other way.
Might as well go all the way around.
Because that'll be more miles going back than going forward. And she was like, Now that next day, she wanted to curse her brother because she was so hurting that bad that day. But she like, dang, it's a good hurt. It's a good hurt. It hurt so good.
It was.
Dang, it hurt so good. And that's what them old men.
It's about encouraging, being able to encourage the person that you're with. Like right now, of course, I'm trying to get my health together. I'm trying to, get these knees right and all that, and get the inflammation out and all that. He walked a mile last week. He sent me the thing, and then he was like, "Your turn." And I'm like, "Well, I can't walk no mile, but I was encouraged to get out and go walk something." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you're only right now about getting up in the morning, but like I can receive those things because I know he cares and he says them in such a way that makes me want to. Right. So it ain't like, putting you down or like, and all that kind of stuff. He ain't calling me fat and be like, "Girl, go walk," or whatever. It's like, let me join you in this thing. Let's do this together. Right.
Yeah, I think I seen the video with you walking. But let me go back before we go too deep.
Sure.
Old men, they taught me a lot of game. And he said the salmon and the chicken is what got you. The old man said the main thing to do to keep a woman is you gotta fuck her good and feed her good. If you doing both of them, you got you a good one.
Absolutely.
Like,
or like Eddie Murphy say, "You can go."
Yeah, wow. But that's the key. Fuck them and feed them, man. That's what you gotta do, man. You gotta get in there and do your thing. Do your thing. But yeah, I'm feeling old boy. I'm feeling it. Chanel, I didn't know he was this cool, Chanel, because I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? But peep this one, y'all.
Long distance relationships and situationships, they don't work. You know why they don't work? And this is just a theory, but they don't work because most people who do them have commitment issues. I mean, let's talk about it. Let's be honest for a second. Like, it's not dealing with reality, right? Because when you're seeing one another, you're always in the honeymoon phase. Everything is always great because you only have a weekend or a few days to spend together. So you don't want to argue and mess up the vibe for that weekend. Also, everyone's always still on their best behavior. You don't get to see how they operate every day when they're having a bad day, right? I personally do not do long distance situationships because at the end of the day, who's moving? Who is moving? Because somebody's going to have to give up a big portion of their life in order to make it work. Someone is going to have to give up a career unless you're working remotely or move away from their family. No. So that's my theory. I'm sticking with it. People who are in long distance situationships have commitment issues because they know that they only have to do half-ass work to try to make it work, to make it always feel good, sound good. So don't do them. Don't do a long distance relationship or situationship, at least not seriously. If you want to have some fun, have some fun. If you want to be in a casual frame of mind, be in a casual frame of mind when you are out there considering, being with some people. But damn it, for the sake of your life, don't take it serious.
So he said, "Don't take it serious."
Hey.
What's that?
I think he frozen.
So he say don't take it serious. Chanel, what you think?
That's bullshit. Like it depends on where you at. It depends on where you at, because the very thing he's talking like, he says it's non-committal, right? And all that. Mm-hmm. But there's more work that has to go into making a long distance relationship work, because you don't see them every day, right? So that for me, the opposite is true. It takes more effort. It takes, and I think I uploaded something that was talking about that, like the extra work that you do have to put in order for this thing to work, right? I know Boo said something a while back, and he was like, I realized that relationships are every day, right? So, that means that we have our daily communication. There's sometimes that we don't get to talk all the time, but for the most part, there's a good morning text or a good morning phone call or both. There's a middle of the day check-in and all that. Sometimes we get to talk before we go to bed at night, sometimes not. But like,
and I think what helps you guys too is you busy and you got a whole lot of shit going on.
Right. Yeah, I'm entrepreneuring, like he working his behind off, like we still taking care of kids and stuff like that. So I'm not pulling my thumbs just waiting on when he called.
Right. You got things going on. You just not that woman with that idle mind that go to the grocery store and any nigga that say, hey boo, how you doing?
Right, yeah,
and trying to hold conversation with him. Your mind on, I'm just coming in here to get this loaf of bread and get this brown beef. I'm going home.
Yeah.
I ain't got time. Hey, lady. Hey, what's up? How you doing? You just keep it kicking, keep it rolling. I ain't trying to talk. You ain't got time.
And it's not like either of us don't hang out either. Like we have friends and people that we hang out with. I go places with my girls. I have business friends and colleagues that I hang out with. And like we and I think that's important too for people to understand. Like even if whether you're in a relationship long distance or in within the vicinity or whatever, like you have to have a life for you too. Like like your whole existence is not that person. I have outside friends and people hang out, and he hangs out with folks, and he in the fraternity, and he's doing things or whatever and all that kind of stuff. I'm not upset about that. Like what I want to be like, you should go places, you should do things. You know what I'm saying? You should hang out with friends and all that kind of stuff. We need to have lives and all that. Again, that just comes down to mutual respect and trust, and stuff like that. He was teasing my daughter the other day and was like, if your mama didn't trust me, she would have thought just now that I would be like this man hugging on women and all that. Like, yeah, he's friendly. So when he go in places, he's talking to people. I'm on the phone with him. Why you talking to women? And he was teasing the lady at the store and all that stuff like that. So like, but I know who he is, right?
Right.
If he wasn't doing all that, I'd be like, what's wrong with you?
Like he said, you got to know your mate.
Right. And I feel secure with him.
That's all right. As long as I'm the DJ at the wedding, that's all I'm gonna say.
Research shows that people in long distance relationships tend to be a lot happier. At first, I wasn't sure if I believed it, but after going through it myself, I want to share with you guys what I've learned. Number one, because there isn't that like physical aspect, you learn a lot more and in depth about that person when it's phone call and FaceTime. While other couples are so used to having their partner around that they stop learning about each other. Number two, when you see them again, you're excited for things like date night. Number three, and probably my favorite one, you get to keep your independence and continue to work on yourself when you're not with them. So now you can't make excuses that you're just lounging with your partner on the couch and you can't work out. Because in long distance, you have nothing but time to work on yourself. Number four, you get the opportunity to show your partner love in ways that you never thought you would be able to do. Because if you live near them, you could just do the basic stuff and it works. But in long distance, you got to get creative. And that is how you keep the spark alive, because you're constantly learning new ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that one made sense.
Sometimes it's a conversation on the phone. Sometimes it's go grab a drink. Let's have a drink together. Have you watched this movie? Let's talk about that, right? Turn on right now. Let's watch it right now. And stuff like that. So it's just a matter of being creative. Sometimes it's just being on the phone present while I'm hanging out with my kids, and stuff.
I'm gonna tell you what I did before we moved in together. I would when she get through doing everything and took a shower, got off work and everything, and she's ready to lay down, we would actually find a movie and start it at the same time while she's in her apartment, I'm at the house, and we watching a movie, you know. So it'll work. And then the pandemic showed a lot of people that you can communicate and work and still be together while being apart. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that was deep. Now let's see what he says. Hold on.
Long distance relationships can work if you get two things right. So studies show that one, it's not really about the consistency of the conversations or how much you talk. It's not quantity, it's quality. And quality translates to energy. How much energy are you putting into these conversations? Like, are you invested, paying attention? Are you distracted? Do you think about what you want to bring to them before you talk? That intentionality is what translates into quality. Okay, so number two, are you aligned in your expectations around the frequency of communication, of visits? Like, do you agree on when you're going to both be in the same city? Is that ever going to happen? Like, are you going to move back after college? Is there a plan within a year of being in the same city, or within 5 years? Like, what's the plan? These things need to be discussed. That's what creates the loneliness and the frustration, the hurt feelings. It's not the miles, that create distance. It's misaligned expectations.
It's a lot of communication from what I'm seeing.
Oh, yeah.
It's triple the communication that you do in a regular relationship when you're apart. And like I stated earlier, it's so much infidelity and distrust within dating locally, living together, till it's hard dating apart. It's super hard.
It's hard.
But with you and him, y'all know the assignment. He has his kids that he's dealing with. You have your kids you're dealing with. You have your businesses you're dealing with. He has his business. Y'all don't really have time to think about somebody else. You get what I'm saying? It's that person.
It ain't even about time, Black. I'm not worrying about nobody else because I'm not worrying about nobody else.
Right.
Because I see what I want and that I have in him. Right.
Right.
And stuff like that. We know we have lives. We have things that we need to take care of and things that we need to do. And we allow the space to do those things. We create time for each other and all that, Sometimes it's in between clients, and sometimes all day we playing phone tag back and forth because he calling while I'm in a session and I'm trying to call him in between sessions and all that stuff, So it's just about your want and your need. If there's like, he's what I want, right? And so, also, like the guy just said, like, it's not so much that we talk a lot, right? It's the quality of the conversation. What are we talking about? Like, are we taking the advantage of opportunities to get to know each other more and more? If a kid have an issue or a problem, that brings out a whole different conversation, or how I raised my kids versus how he's raised his kids, which might bring us back to conversations about our childhood. Like, it's just the depth. You just start getting more and more in depth. And over the years, we're still not the same people we were when we met, right? There's growth. There's a lot of growth that's happened, and growth because we've contributed growth to each other, right? And stuff like that. We've had our share of junk, right, that we grew from and stuff like that. Because for a moment, we didn't think we was going to be together, right? And stuff like that. But it grew back into what it needed to grow back into or whatever. But that was learning. That was a learning lesson for both of us. And we took the learning out of it that we need to learn out of it and made what we had even better, right? And all that. Like, even you asking about, what's the plan? Like, we haven't really even talked about a plan. All we know is we're trying to get these kids out of school first, right? We have that as a mutual thing. Your kid need to graduate. Mine just graduated. My last one just graduated. His will graduate next year, right? And as soon as we know that they're secure enough, at least, for us to jump up and do something different, then we'll jump up and do something different. The fact that
I'm still gonna follow y'all.
Can't deal with Minnesota, so we might have to find a mutual space. That means a lot to me, right? That means a lot to me. Because he could just be like, you got to come to Minnesota and deal with this stuff.
I heard him say that. Yeah.
Because he knows that already. He knows that.
Yeah, that was deep.
So he's not asking me to come up there knowing that it's gonna make me sad. It's gonna affect that's a respectful thing, right? And he not being selfish. And I'm more than willing to jump up and move wherever, you know. Because again, if I gotta get licensed in another state, I gotta get licensed in another state. You know, even if I was working somebody else's job and it wasn't my, you know, my business and or my entrepreneurship, or I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm gonna go and do what I do. But even if I was on a job, they got jobs everywhere. I'm gonna make my way. I'm gonna make my way, right?
Oh yeah, you will go get
it. The goal is to have joy and be happy. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm in a space where I can be safe, I'm down for that. I'm totally down for that. You know, I'm not tied to my children. I'm not tied to the state. I'm not tied to nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and like I said, I'm definitely gonna follow you guys, even if whatever. I want to know what happened in 3 years, because you got and he got, and then it ain't gonna be number and opportunity. And I want to I want to see what's gonna happen.
I would love to be able to just travel together and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, once we don't have kids to take care of anymore, then we're free to do what we please, right? And all that. So, like,
I'm learning that's not exactly true.
What happened?
That's true in a certain way. I'm sorry, I had to dash inside.
Oh yeah, we know you working. That's why I'm watching.
Yeah.
Now, why you said
like that song say, every day I'm hustling.
There you go.
That's not exactly true. You heard me? Can you hear me?
I'm adjusting. Hold on.
Oh. Adjust.
There we go. I need to get you in my ear first so I can then listen. Hello? Everybody there?
Can you hear me now?
Do you hear
me? Can you hear? We hear you fine.
We hear you, but can you hear us?
Trying to make sure I can hear everything. Okay. How about now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you perfect in all ways.
Why is it not going off in my ear?
I get a reconnect. Reconnect.
Let me do this. I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna
I see
come
Fred
back
on here being
it.
funny again. Look. Gave it up for some wings.
Who's that? Fred.
That's my brother.
Yes, he did. From what we understand. Like I said, Fred, you gotta fuck him and feed him, and she just proved that was true.
But at least I ain't lay out on the table in Wingstop. You know what I'm saying? You know. And I wasn't bougie. I let him take me to Wingstop. I wasn't like, you can't talk to me because you got to take me to like the Cheesecake Factory or something.
Right. And then they say Cheesecake Factory corny. They say that's what the girl said.
Okay, she said Cheesecake Factory ain't for everybody. I was like, what? Everybody get Cheesecake Factory? No,
and she probably ain't got no damn job. Living out child support, living out $200 a month child support from her baby daddy. and talking about him taking her to somewhere besides Cheesecake Factory.
Now,
what I was actually saying about the traveling and stuff. So the other part about that is that we still got to be parents, and that's the other key aspect of it. And our kids, as you and I discussed today, in certain aspects, they still need to be attached to us for a little bit longer than we want them to be.
Right. Absolutely.
Unfortunately. And so that makes things a little bit different, you know, as far as traveling and things like that. And also knowing that, you know, like in my personal self, I'm paying child support that ain't ended. Don't seem like it ever end until June 30th of next year. And, you know, once that's done, then you can start considering more things that you can do, you know. And then also with that, you got to have the funds to do it as well. You got to work to do that. And so.
Is still up?
I was making sure we wasn't froze.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, he man, this dude is too much like me because I'm like that too. The wife want to do a lot, then I be sitting back and we're logical thinkers. You know what I'm saying? He's a logical thinker. So I'm like,
Actions enough. I think that's another key factor in everything involved. And depending on how your family is made up and mixed and everything else like that, I mean, the two people can get along together great, but then you have to figure out, are you going to get along with your step siblings and with brothers and sisters, all that type of stuff. My family just happens to be pretty cool for the most part. So, you got to kind of consider those things as well. So it's still some work to be done. I ain't going to lie about that part.
Absolutely.
So, and then what I think would actually really be weird and different if we were truly in each other's space, because that would be a lot different too.
It would.
Because we haven't really, like I said, if we were to live together, man, I said, you really don't know someone until you live with them.
Live with them, right. It's absolutely true.
And I just had this conversation with my previous co-host, and he was saying that, he Muslim. So he's saying that he'll never shack or live with a woman. He just want to marry and move in. I say, dude, these days, I understood Big Mama would turn her nose up and all that when she would think we were shacking per se. I say, but hell, you don't know a person until you actually live with them, because when you're with them for that brief amount of time before you guys go home, everybody putting on their best behavior. I say, you may, soon as you leave and you driving home, she may go in her room and sniff up some coke or something, or be on the phone talking to her female friend, gangster that you ain't never heard. Yeah, bitch, and we gonna do this, we gonna do that, and fuck, it's 85 degrees. I ain't got no nigga ain't got me, and you don't know that, but around you, she like, man, I don't do none of that stuff. Then when you leave, you sneak to the club. You just don't know.
No,
you don't know a person till you actually live with them. So everybody hollering about you shouldn't shack or shouldn't live with nobody, man. You don't know a person till you live with them.
Know a person. You should get to know a person to know if you can tolerate their habits.
Yeah. So I recommend that all, and then I told them for at least 6 months you gotta learn, kind of know this person, because even at 6 months these days they can hide, And we said that a long time ago. So yeah, you definitely gotta see if you can live with somebody before you get 1,000% putting everything into it. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
So I'm a firm believer in living with somebody at first, because of Big Mama and them, and you don't want to be shacking. But then my brother went through that. He didn't want to shack, he didn't want Big Mama to know he was shacking. So when him and the girl decided they're gonna live together, he decided he wanted to marry her. They ain't knew each other a good year yet, and he decided he wanted to marry her because it was cheaper for them to live together than apart. Needless to say, that marriage didn't last a year.
Of course not. Yeah.
He didn't want to shack. I was like, you think I'm worried about? And I love it to death, God rest her soul. You think I'm worried about Big Mama? I gotta know what I'm getting into, because she may be this way, but a drug addict, a nympho. I don't know what I'm dealing with, so I gotta know who this a compulsive liar. You know what I'm saying? She done told me all this and that and that, and you have to live with him, because eventually you're gonna hear that friend say, "Good, you lying."
Right.
And I used to tease people. I say, if you want to know if your girl cheating, call her best friend, and make her call her best friend and say, "Girl, I think I'm pregnant." And if she say by who, she fucking around. Shit, girl, by who? Is it by Brian? Shit, girl, shit. Hey, Chanel. I used to tell the guy how to catch her. Like I say, my famous phrase was, every woman good till you catch her. So I was hell. They didn't want to talk to me. When they called me, I'm like, okay, what she was doing, where she was. She probably with that nigga sucking on him. Then she came home. They be like, damn near crying. I forgot the Muslim told you how I used to be getting on him. I don't show no remorse.
Yeah.
But peep her out. She went through a heartbreak with her.
A long distance relationship, which is what I had, is not going to work unless you have a plan for one of you to move to the other person's city or country. Don't set yourself up for failure and for a big heartbreak by just being super like wishy-washy and just being like, you know what, everything's gonna be great, because that is what I did. And after 3 years, we were like, okay, like, are you gonna move here? No. Are you gonna move here? No. Okay, where does that leave us now? You know, we're like madly in love with each other and we have to say bye.
That's unfortunate. Nobody was willing. Nobody was willing.
And that's a serious situation too, Chanel, that you guys gonna eventually, like he said, it's a lot of work that you guys gonna come to, because like he said earlier, when that video was playing, I was thinking about what BBQ said. And my thing is that living, that moving together, that I'm so used to just a text and a video and
that's gonna
a
be
phone
different.
call.
That's gonna be different.
I'm used to that. I'm used to, because like I said so many times on here, my goal wasn't to get married.
Right.
Okay. I wanted the revolving door where I have about 3 and a possible. They come through. You got this night. You got that night. You got that night. Well, I'm working on this. That's just how I thought my life was gonna be to the casting.
Non-committal is easy.
And so when I got in a live-in relationship, the first I wanted to say first 3 months, but the damn near the first 3 years. The first 2 years was hell, man. I'm like, I was used to just going and I come back when I come back. You know, I was 10 years living by my goddamn
you gotta
self.
consider somebody else, yeah.
I ain't have to worry about no woman. 10 years living by my goddamn self. Said I'll never live with another woman again in my life. Right. You know, so I'm chilling. I'm living my best life.
Right.
Then when you move someone in, and like I was telling her, a lot of women like saying, because there's rules and respect levels when you're in a relationship. You ain't my dad. Now, they know they ain't your dad, but when you get in a relationship, you ain't just free no more either, though, because there's gonna come rules, stipulate, rules and everything gonna be within that. So no, they not your daddy, but you got a respect figure as if you respecting your parents when you were at home. I can't just jump up and just leave the house and stay gone 4 hours and not let her know where I'm going. I don't answer her phone while I'm out. You get what I'm saying? So no, you not the boss of them. You not the mama, and you not their daddy. You treat me like you my mama. No, it's just a certain level of respect.
Right.
That wants you in a relationship that I had to learn. Like I told you on the last one, I left. I mean, I wanted to leave less than 2 weeks after so-called being married. And my uncle say, boy, sit your ass down.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna be doing this.
Actually,
You're gonna be
my ex-wife,
the captain of this ship.
my ex-wife, right after the honeymoon, she said she called her grandma up. She's like, she told her, I want to come home. And she's like, you staying right there. It's like, you can't come back home. No.
You in it now. You in it.
Yeah.
Now I'm divorced, so she should have just left. Shit. But that's just my
man. Look, I was like that. And I was like, man, I can't take this. And like I said, my uncle married us. And he was like, man, you need to sit your ass down. Now, what if I would have had that person in my corner saying, man, you ain't got to put up with that.
Right.
You still got Shanika. You left Tamika for her.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, and she asked about you the other day. So why are you even putting up with that? And now here I am, slipping out because I'm mad. It ain't working. And now I'm sleeping with Shamika. You get what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you brought that up too, because that's important for the long distance thing too. I don't need nobody in my ear that don't believe in long distance relationships. Right? I can't have nobody in my ear that don't believe in what I'm doing or whatever. That's gonna naysay or have negative.
So if somebody approach you like that, do you just check them?
You know,
At the door?
This is my choice, and it's working
Do
for
you,
me.
if they come at you like that, do you just check them at the door, or do you
If
just ignore?
somebody come at me with that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work. And girl, my cousin been asking about you. My brother was talking about you the other day, and I told her she was some nigga out of town and blah blah blah. Girl, you need to give my brother. Why you doing that? And you used to like him. How, when they come at you like that, because I know a lot of friend girls like talking about who y'all had in the past when y'all was running and out there to get loose together.
First of all, I'm at an age and stage in my life that I don't fuck with them no more. Because I don't even hang around people who are like that, right? That would naysay with.
You cut them off.
They've had people, they've already been cut off, right? And all that. But I don't even entertain conversations with people who would say, or people that's in my ear, like, this ain't gonna work and this and that or whatever, and all that. As I'm watching even the stuff that when we looking up stuff for the show or whatever, and I'm picking their stuff apart, like, okay, that I understand that in this situation, but that don't work in my situation. And
right. You just mature. That and like I said, in other issues we used to throw at you.
Yeah,
you're on another level. So
I've never been peer. Peer pressure don't work for me. It don't work. Like you can do what you want. I'm gonna make up my mind to do what I need to do, and maybe that's the alpha in me. Maybe that's being a leader or whatever. I don't know, and all that. But I've never.
That's rare. That is hella rare, and you know this from the females you deal with.
Yeah,
that shit is hella rare because majority of the females gonna eventually slowly sway. They'll hold steadfast for a moment, but that fam gonna slowly. They may not do 100%. They may not go to Brian's house, but when Brian comes up that third time after they throw him in his face and they together, then Brian's in the room and he come over and say, "Hey, how you doing?" That conversation may get and that he may get that phone number. She just may not go to the house, but eventually, he's going. And it depends on how your home relationship also. But a lot of times, majority of women sway to what the friends, the friend girls, the family girls, the sisters.
And I'm not saying I haven't had people that have said things or been like, I don't know if this gonna work out, and all that. Y'all don't see each other enough, or and all that kind of stuff. But like, I don't listen to all that. I operate in what is going on with us, right? And I say, and we had a moment where we weren't together, but I still was his friend. He still was my friend, and we still talked and all that stuff. And it made its way back to where it is, right? And all that. Again, that's just us being mutually honest and real, and still choosing it. You're still valuable in my life enough for me to be your friend and stuff like that. There's a lot. There's always going to be a lot of talk. There's always going to have people that be trying to be in your business and trying to tell you how to do your relationship and this and that or whatever and stuff. Like the only advice I truly take is from my therapist, and she usually say, talk to him about whatever's going on, like
it's communication thing.
So it's like checking me in areas where I need improvement. Like, if I'm upset about something and I ain't talked to him about it, she's like, talk to him about it, and stuff like that. So like, you just have to choose not to entertain and listen to other people, especially if they don't have what you have. Like, Shaniqua over there, she ain't got no man at all, and you trying to tell me how to
right,
and stuff like that. So, be careful.
But I'm gonna tell you one thing you said on here that I've been applying and it works. When you said, and this was when we was dealing with my ex co-host. A lot of times people tell you things just so you can listen. I was always with my opinion on how to get over something. Yeah. And you used to frown on that. And I learned dealing with the wife that when she tells me certain things, it's not for me to give my opinion. Sometimes, even though I want to say something so bad, like, why the fuck you even worrying with this shit? Right. You know what I'm saying? They ain't nobody. You tripping on this. They showing you who they are. Won't just leave them alone. But that ain't for me to say. You get what I'm saying? So I started biting my tongue over this last, year, and I don't like biting my tongue. That shit hurt. But it's okay to hurt when you're helping somebody else. So that you care about. So I started just being quiet. And that was so hard for me, Chanel. Yeah. And you said it one time, because I was like, yeah, you just need to do this and that and that. You was like, well, sometimes when people talk to you, Black, you just need to just listen. You don't always have to say something. And I sat there for a minute. I was like, yeah, but you need to tell them, because they need to know. And you
need to hear it out loud from their own mouth, and that is enough for them. The very thing that you'll be trying to tell them will be they'll hear it themselves, because they'll be saying the thing that you was gonna say, but in their head they're like, wait a minute, she don't give a damn about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just need to say it out loud to somebody that will listen and hear, that cares about it.
Dude, I've been practicing that, and that's been, I learned that sometimes the best thing you can say to somebody is nothing at all. Nothing. And when I start practicing that and see the impact of when they come around, because sometimes even when she asks me, so what you think, because I don't say nothing no more, right?
Right.
So now she say, so what you think? He wants the opinion now, but I still keep it on. Well, this is whatever you feel like you need to do. And then even if I want to say, man, fuck them up, but I'll be like, let's just see, because we don't know.
Right.
Try this, I'll say what I feel like she really feeling.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Instead of voicing my harsh opinion, because I came from a childhood where I learned not to give a fuck. You get what I'm saying? At 10 years old, I carved on the wall, fuck it. And I meant that. You get what I'm saying? And I went through life to hell with anything. So if I can't do this, hey, we finna buy you some roller skates. And then they say, you know what? You stayed out late, whatever, so we're not gonna get you roller skates. Hey, we going to the water park, but since you made a C in such and such, and then act like you didn't have homework, we ain't going. Okay. And so that was my whole lifespan from 10 years old. So just imagine, like when I first met, she was planning to do something for me. And then I said something and made her mad. She said, you know what? I was just about to get this and that for you. And she bring this up to this day. And that's been down there 12, 13 years ago. I said, so I can't miss what I never had. And she never heard a man say that, nobody say that to her at all. But that was my mentality from 10 years old. Right. She was like, and I was just getting ready to get you this. So shit, can't miss what you never had. And boy, and she brings that up every blue moon. It's not 2 months that go by that phrase don't come up, because she's like, I remember when you told me you can't miss what you never had. But that's just how I live. But communication is the main thing, and we say that, but there's so many different forms of communication that I had to learn. Right. Because communication is more than just talking about a situation. Yeah. Communication is not talking sometimes. And I learned, I'd rather, because I used to just want to be right all the time. Right. And my partner, my cousin Austin, he thrives on, being right a lot of times. Right. And I told him like sometimes it's okay. I want peace instead of being right. I don't have to be right all the time. That's right. Because you don't have to be right all the time. If she feeling that, if she feeling that she feel like this supposed to go this way, and she's comfortable with it going that way, and it's her project, it's her life, I let her have that. Right. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you think, we can try it. You know what I'm saying? But I used to want everything to go Black's way. Yeah. And you knew that. If it's my way or no. But then that person who you're with can start feeling some type of way about you. They can love you, but they can start hating you at the same time, because she didn't have a voice. There you go. And she don't like me cutting her off, but I used to have a bad, and I still work on that now, a bad habit of when she's saying something, BBQ and we already know what you're going to say, because you said it before. A woman's going to say it. We know what you're going to say. Yeah. So I like cutting you off saying, when you say, well, you know, when I did, I already know what you're gonna say, so I'm gonna cut in. But yeah, but da 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 da. She hates that.
Right. Because
So I
if I don't have a voice with you, if I don't have a voice with you, then I don't feel safe. I
Right.
don't feel safe if I ain't got no voice. I know, even though you know every damn thing I'm gonna say, you know the look I got on my face, but you letting me get it out, right?
I'm learning that. That's what I'm going through now.
You know, now
Yeah, you got, hey, dog, sometimes.
He won't let me go around a story over and over again. If he start to hear it repeat, he
Right.
stop it, take a deep breath. Now let's come up with a solution, right? You know, but he let me get that round down and get it all out. You know, what you was about to say, man?
It's like Kenny Rogers said, you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Yep, that is the truth. That is the truth.
And know when to walk away and know when to run.
You know, so it's 10:17. We need to wrap this up because you'll be talking all night, Black.
Right.
You know, what you learn.
Nah, you've been enjoying talking all night. I've heard more of you than anything else. Black been cool.
Hey.
Because he was actually
No, but I'm feeling him. And when I decide to go to when we go to Minneapolis, I'm gonna let Chanel know, and we can do a trip where me, you, and the wife go down there together. But I want to go in the fall because they say the winter is hell.
The winter too bad.
And the summer is hot. So
it ain't decided down in the south though.
So I said
like
they
70.
told me the best time to go would be around October.
Fall time.
Yeah, October is sketchy, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It's sketchy because you might get a snowstorm, dog. And I'm not kidding.
I don't want no snowstorm.
Bro, let me tell you, Minnesota is sneaky with the fucking snow, bro. Like,
Hey,
I'm
freezing.
like, oh, it's May.
How
It
far-
should be. Why is it snowing outside? Somebody tell Minnesota it's not winter no more. Yeah.
How far are you from Paisley Park?
Oh, that's in Chanhassen. That's like 40 minutes away.
You been there yet?
I've been out there. I mean, you
Man,
just
I
drive
want
right.
to
It's
see
like,
that. Is it 7th Avenue or whatever?
oh, you mean First Ave?
First Ave. I want to see that. I want to go in there. You know, I just want to see that because that's my that and Training Day are my favorite movies. So, and the wife want to go there to that mall thing. So we're gonna eventually go because like Boo like me, if Boo like me, y'all gonna eventually get what you want. So I just gotta, like he say, budget it into what I'm trying to do because we logical thinkers. But
Well, I want to say, man, it's been a pleasure being on the show. I need to cut out real quick for because I got a fraternity call to get on real quick about some things coming up. So
that's real. That's real. Well, we about to wrap it up anyway. 11:30 our time. Yeah, 11:30 our time. Man, it's been a pleasure. And like I say, I'm sure we're gonna speak more and more, man. Because like I say, I'm feeling the vibe. So we'll talk. And then when I get closer to the trip, I'm gonna be hitting you up, letting you know what's happening.
All right, then. Later.
All right. Appreciate it.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, y'all got a cool little vibe, Chanel. And I'm gonna tell you, don't mess that up. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm about to mess that up.
But we got 2 more videos. Hold up.
Long distance relationships are a waste of time. Let's just put it on the table. I tell people all the time, if you want to get cheated on, you can find somebody locally to do that. You don't have to find somebody 4 to 5 states over to cheat on you on a consistent basis. And the fact is that's what's going to happen when you're in a long-term relationship and you guys are not seeing each other for extended periods. People have needs, intimacy needs that have to be filled. And if you think that person's going to contain those needs for 1 to 2, maybe 3 times that they see you a month, you are delusional and you are going to get your heart broken. The only way that a situation like that could work is if one person or the other is planning on moving to the other person's city in a very near future. But if that's not the case, the situation is not going to last. And it's a big waste of time.
That little weak fucker there, man.
When I listened to that one, I was like, he said 2 to 3 times a month. I'm like,
But
ooh,
you might well be living in the same damn city. You said each
right.
other
That's,
3 times a day a
very
month.
frequent. And a lot of them I listened to was like that they was the frequency was so. I was like, y'all definitely think I'm crazy. Y'all think I'm absolutely crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah.
Yeah, that was that. That's a little weak fucker right there, man. He got me though.
You
That
know,
nigga,
because
that
I
was
would
like,
like to see him more frequently. Absolutely. If our budget was like we would like it to be, then that would happen and all that. But we gotta work within our budgets too. You know,
right.
stuff like that, and timing and all.
Beep him up.
I'm gonna make this long distance relationship work. I need to remind myself constantly of these 3 things. 1, that my mind is gonna be my worst enemy. That I cannot allow my thoughts to become my distorted reality. 2, it is going to be hard. Because this beautiful world is not gonna stop turning just because we're apart. But even though it's gonna be tough, I'm gonna surround myself with people that believe in true love. And finally, I want you to listen carefully. Please know that you can never be too far away. Because far will always be relative to the willingness to travel the distance.
Period.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this one was pretty cool.
Long distance relationships do not.
Hold on.
7 tips for a strong long distance relationship. Long distance relationships can be hard, but with these 7 simple tips, you can keep your love strong and positive. 1. Stay connected every day. Make talking and sharing a daily habit. This keeps your bond tight even when you're far apart. 2. Be honest. Trust is the foundation. Share your feelings and fears and be open about your dreams. Honesty builds trust. 3. Have special virtual dates. Even if you're not physically together, plan fun dates online. Watch a movie at the same time or have a virtual dinner date. 5. Do things together. Find activities you both enjoy. Read the same book, watch a show, or try a new recipe. It makes you feel close. 6. Talk about the future. Discuss where you see the relationship going. Knowing you're on the same page helps you both feel secure. 7. Reassure each other. Let your partner know you care. Say loving things, especially when they're feeling down. Reassurance keeps your love strong. Remember, love can conquer distance. Use these keys to keep your relationship positive and thriving. You've got this.
And that one there kind of summed everything up. You know what I'm saying? That's a good note to end on, but he summed everything up. And it's pretty much everything you guys said tonight. And that's why that one stood out the most to me, because it was everything y'all were saying, everything we were saying. It's not about how many times, it's the quality. You know what I'm saying? When you do talk. And you know, and like I say, the only thing with a long distance relationship or with humans, period, we get used to routine.
That's right.
And you guys probably would have to do, like you say, when the budget allow it, a good 5-day stay. You get what I'm saying? Because you need to know what's his triggers when he's not the nice guy. Because I had to learn the triggers, because she had to learn mine.
Yours,
And then, you know, it was that was the part when because we dated long distance, kind of like I say, cities over, for about 3 to 4 years. Okay. And we didn't see each other every week. You know what I'm saying? Because my DJing,
time to know.
And my parties, and I was all over to different states. So it would be 2 months, maybe a month and a half. And I was cool with it because my job is late at night anyway. I get drunk, I come home, I go to sleep. You get what I'm saying? I wake up the next day, she at work. And then at 10 o'clock at night, I go DJ. And if I got a party after that, I'm coming home at 4, 5 in the morning, go sleep, get back up. You know, that was my life.
Right.
She going to work a 9 to 5 and she gets off. So she like, can I come down there, this weekend? Well, no, I'm going to DJ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I really, and like I say, 10 years strong of not even having a woman living with you,
right?
Period.
Right.
And you enjoying and embracing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, why she want to come? You get what I'm saying? We just seen each other last weekend.
Right.
Can I have this weekend?
Right.
To myself. Can I have next weekend and the weekend after that to myself?
Because
You kicking with me from Friday.
Enjoy. I'm like, when I think about that stuff, I'm like, do I want to share my bed again all the time?
Yeah. And I think all the hell that I say I put her through was because of that. Because I had vowed to myself that I'll never let another woman live with me.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
And then I was 10 years in. You get what I'm saying? 11 years, right? 11 years in.
And here she come along.
And here it comes, man. You get what I'm saying? So it's give and take, but when you love that person, really want to be with that person.
Yeah. When
I had to learn the sacrifice. And I start preaching to people that it's the give and take, because I was selfish because my people took care of me. You get what I'm saying? I was selfish. I don't really like sharing. When one of the first times we were together, I remember this like yesterday. You know how you get that big Wendy's what was it? Fruit punch. Mm-hmm. You get the large Wendy's fruit punch back in the day where the cup be leaking at the bottom. The fruit punch just come through the cup. I got me a big one and I had a little ice in it because I don't believe in a lot of ice.
Yeah.
So we riding, you know what I'm saying? And I had my soda. I went to Wendy's while she was in the vehicle. I ordered my thing. I got me in there. You want something? She was saying she was cool. We were just getting together. So she wasn't ordering no shit. She was playing a little salad. You know, I just wanted, So I got my burger, got her something. Then she got a little, little soda, whatever. So I got the big thing. So we riding, and she was through with her soda. So we head into the house, and she said, "Can I have some of your drink?" I said, "Yeah." She got my drink and went. And dude,
all of my soda.
I got so mad. We still talking about this today too. I got so mad at her, man. That damn near was what you call a deal breaker. Because I was like, all you had to do was just ask for it. We was at the place. I asked you, did you want something to drink? You chose that little Sprite or whatever you had. If you wanted more, you should have said, let me get the big cup or whatever you got. You don't drink all my dude.
I feel you.
That got me.
I was in Malaysia then, I know.
Dude, but I eventually got over it. So maturity level as we wrap it up on the topic of the night, we do our wrap ups. So long distance relationships with so many options to meet other people, are long distance relationships a waste of time? And what I've learned tonight is, number one, I was 100% against, and probably about 80% still against. but
that's absolutely cool. Like
I have a better understanding. I have a better understanding now. That it's a maturity level thing.
Right.
I have a better understanding, and if you have to do that, and like I said, so many situations now that I'm talking tonight. It's so many situations. Will I voluntarily get into a long distance relationship?
I wouldn't have never. I wouldn't have never. I'm not gonna tell nobody no lie. I wouldn't have set out and started seeing somebody long. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. It was just a situation.
Hell no.
I was digging him while we was there, and as a matter of fact, I did not expect him to call when I left. I didn't expect, because I didn't think that he would want that either, and all that. But he kept calling. He kept calling. We kept talking, and we just.
So it's different. It's different levels now that I've been on here tonight, I learned that it's different levels. And don't say what you won't do, because you don't know, because something can happen and I get a job somewhere else. I get a job where I gotta move somewhere else.
You don't know.
They're gonna hold the house down till till they're able to come. So you just never know. And like Chanel said, trust is her main thing.
That's right.
And I know that she said that about 3 or 4 times, that she chooses to trust.
That's it.
You have to choose to trust. Now, if I'm still sitting around here when I go to sleep or when we get off the phone, and I'm worrying about who coming over there when I'm off the phone, or where she's going when we hang up, or I'm sleepy and I'm trying to stay up because I'm trying to keep her on the phone, but she don't do nothing.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, that ain't no way to live. And like I said, I got a partner right now that's going through some stuff. And the key thing that he told me when I was telling him all the things that I've seen going on, that I think going on in his relationship, he more like, he ain't really worrying about it. He's not finna be worrying about what she's doing, what she's sneaking around. He was like, he know what his worth is, what he brings to the table. And he said, if you want to mess that up,
if you want to mess that up, then
go ahead. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out eventually.
That's right.
Yeah, he said he's gonna find out eventually, because he know he's not doing anything, and the person who's not doing nothing and trying to be true gonna see something.
That's right.
So he was like, you know what? I ain't worrying about that. I say, but she doing this, she doing that, and then she did this. He was like, I ain't really got time. I ain't even worrying about that. You know, he said, I know it looked weird. And I know you see it this way. A lot of people, my sister see it this way. He said, but I ain't worried about that. He was like, when it's time for me to see it, I'm going to see it.
Yeah, you're going to see it, and you're going to do what's necessary.
I'm going to do what's necessary. So that's how I feel about the long distance relationship. You can sit around and be worrying about what a person doing. And you know, because like you say, it's people locally that's living together. Like Boo said, be cute. It's people who living together that's messing over each other way more than people that far apart.
Don't connect and don't communicate and don't, you know what I'm saying? And lay in the same bed together. So like, it's not about the distance. It's about your commitment to what it is that you want.
Your commitment, yeah. And you guys sound like you guys are committed to each other, and you're mature, and you guys talk. Y'all know that y'all got things to take care of before y'all even think about what city and let's do this and let's do that. So
all that will come when it's time, when the time comes. Because again, because like a lot of the videos, like, you know, set an end date. Like shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Nobody expected COVID, right? So like, you know, you just got to roll with the flow. It's okay to set a date or set a perspective. Like I said, my thing is, okay, at least when the kids are 18, at least, right? But like he said also, we still have to parent for a while, right? We got to make sure that they're good, because we are also not bum ass parents. We're not like, oh, you 18 years old, get out and that's a wrap. I don't want to talk to you no more, right? We understand that your kids still are going to need that support, a certain level of support for a little minute, right? And all that. Once we know they're good, you know, then we'll, you know, and stuff like that. So in between time, we visit, we travel, you know, we do what we need to do. And stuff like that, you know. So like when his child support becomes, you know, a non-issue, you know, because again, that's part of the budget, you know. And so when my business starts running like a well-oiled machine, you know, and stuff like that, that's gonna change some things.
Because with your business and as dedicated as you are, moving in instantly when you in the beginning of trying to see where this going, dotting all your T's, dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's. He may feel neglected. You want this job more than me. You know? He may come in trying to
we already get up under you. Like that sometimes where it's like, I don't have time to answer the phone or something, you know. And he don't complain about it. I can tell when he needs more attention though, because I'll answer the phone. You ain't answer the phone all week or whatever, you know, like, all right, but he jokes about it, but that lets me know how you feel, right? You know, like,
right. I'm like that. Like I said, he reminds me a lot of myself.
Right, because he's like, you know, and we talk about it, but I recognize that as a need, and then I start making arrangements to what I need to do. Maybe I need to delegate more. Maybe I need to, you know, take some time. Maybe we need to schedule a date. Like, so it's about and seeing what a need is and then adjusting as necessary. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like he does the same.
And that's because you care. And that's what's going on with this other couple. Yeah, they don't care about, it's too far gone.
Yeah.
Where
they've given up already.
It's pretty much where one of them is. The trust is gone.
Oh, yeah.
So he's looking 24/7 trying to find something. She trying to get away from it, but won't neither one of them say we need to be apart.
We're done. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where they at. And I just don't want it to get too violent where something happened, because it's already getting to the point where tensions are there and hands are about to be, get put on. You get what I'm saying?
Recognize when it's over and walk away.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing. Yeah. But with all that being said, we about to get out. But I noticed too, Janelle, on the way out, that is people getting married now, and because of the masculinity in the females now, feminine masculinity or the alpha, whatever, and the ones wanting their own place. They're getting married, but they're living separately. I've been hearing a lot of that lately.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if they're in the same town, he has his house, she has her house. And that's but
I mean, the only thing I would want at this age and stage in life is I would like to have our room, my room, and your room. Right?
Really?
So because I think all of us value the time that we do need by ourselves when we need it, right?
Wow.
And
my mom didn't do that, and I'm like,
space and place where I can hold all my shit that's not going to be in the area in the way, and he can have all his shit that's not going to be in our space or whatever. So I think, for me, and because I've been single for a long, I've been living as a single woman for a long time, right? And all that. And so I do value certain things now that I didn't value before and stuff like that. So I think having a space, and I guess it's no different than having a man cave and a she shed. You know what I'm saying? Like
but
that kind of
I think about Big Mama and Big Daddy though, because when you walk in the house, Big Daddy had his room there, and then you go through the halls, you got the bathroom, then Big Mama room was right there. They didn't sleep in the same.
But I think that there should be a space where both of y'all did. I don't think we should have separate rooms, period. Like I think there should be a space where this is our room. But and that's why I think it's more of a, here's our bedroom, here's our space together, and here's my she shed, and there's the man.
Okay, now that's what we have.
Like that kind of thing, right?
Okay, that's what we have. Like
that's your own space.
Where I'm at right here, this is my space.
Right.
And then we got our space, and then in our space there's a sitting area.
Okay.
And she's over there. You get what I'm saying? And so, and I'm in here all time, like all day. I've been in here right now since 11 o'clock this morning, and I don't see her. So the key thing is I don't really see her through the day. It's like I'm at work because I'm in here and they don't bother me. The kids, nobody come in here when I'm in here. So they like, if he in there, where he at? Oh, he in there. Well, we ain't finna bother me. And she'll shoot me a text or she'll inbox some on
so that's a respectful spot. Like, yeah.
When I'm in here,
that's important. I think that's very important. And that's a change in my mentality, because I had y'all supposed to be like, sharing all the things, but like, again, there's a certain amount of independence that we also need too, that makes us who we are, that contributes to the relationship, and stuff. And I think having some sort of space of your own contributes to that, continuing to help that grow too.
So it can work. It's just communication, dedication, and
trust and
how you are to your mate.
Yeah.
And like BQ said, you got to know your mate, because that trust is from what I'm understanding, trust is the main thing in making it work. Trust and then communication.
Knowing yourself or whatever, because some people crave human touch to a level that's their love language, and they need that where you can't do long distance, right? Because like my primary love language is acts of service, right? So he can do stuff long distance that will show that and all that. if it's words of affirmation, okay, that's easy. If it's so, it depends on like what you're. And I've heard some people say before, I can't do it because I need touch a lot, right, and stuff like that. And so knowing yourself and what you, absolutely.
I know a lot, we
all require touch to an extent, but how much do you need it, right? And all that, like if you're independent minded, it's not a big deal. If like there's just certain, I'm not a stalker. I don't need to know what you're doing 24 hours a day, right? But at the same time, he will offer up information like, okay, so today I gotta go do this job, and I'll be doing that. I'll call you while I'm doing this job. You know what I'm saying? So like there's some stuff that I don't even ask for that he provides that gives me more, secure, makes me feel more secure. So, and again, that's just insight.
That's real. So. And on that note, we about to dock the ship. Shout out to BBQ. Shout out to Carlos, Drop City, what's happening, and everybody and Fred that tuned in tonight. Fred need to come on here every now and then and show his face. I'll be liking his comments on the relationship thing.
And I talked to my brother Brian, Fred brother, and he said I told him like I'm gonna start inviting him to come and stuff too.
Okay, real, because I'll be needing to hear
other perspectives,
real mature grown men thoughts on things too. You know what I'm saying? I want to see, are we gonna vibe and be there, or do I need to tweak a little something? Like with BQ with Boo, him and I kind of like on the same damn page. I think if we were to link up and just kick it, it's gonna be like boom. You know what I'm saying? So, because he said a lot of stuff I say. You know what I'm saying? And then he's confident in himself.
Yes.
He done been there, done it. You get what I'm saying? It's no big deal. He just think a lot. We think a lot alike, and that was kind of scary because I wasn't expecting that tonight. But yeah, I'm feeling him. But yeah, keep it up. And like I said, I want to try to go out there in the fall. I don't know. I'm gonna, we're gonna work it out. And we'll let you know though, and see what we're gonna do, because she wanted to get like a huge, a large type SUV, and just go, it'd be us, the kids, and they do that, and you can be with Boo while we running our thing, and when we get ready to leave, we all come back together, So that's what she want to do, and I just figured that'll help get us there, with all of us going. So I'm gonna definitely keep you posted on that. But with that being said, let's go, because I got a whole nother 2-hour thing I gotta do, and I'll probably hit the bed by 2:00. But that's what I'm used to. So with that being said, speak on the podcast 2K24 Summer Edition. Host DJ Black, along with the what? No bullshit And we out. I enjoyed the night, man. Y'all keep it going. And until next week, I don't know what we gonna talk about, but it's gonna be interesting. But until then, what we say? Peace.
What you thinking, man? I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it, because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person, or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is? Right.
And then
the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. So you know, you can love somebody too much. And then see, that complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we were even thought. Why doesn't my father like that? Is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
No, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are like absolutely. So if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
You see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. You know, at one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, you know, I know, you know, I mean, you did it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So you
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. You know, it means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. You know, that's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, you know, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, you know. So there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, you know, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband.